Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about grow lights and why they're so important when it comes to growing your indoor seedlings. One of the most important factors to consider when it comes to growing seeds indoors is to make sure that your seedlings are nice and healthy and strong. Oftentimes, growing your seedlings in a windowsill, even if it's a south-facing window, just isn't enough light to make sure that your stems grow nice and stocky and strong. Leggy seedlings are not healthy seedlings, and a leggy seedling is when your stem grows really tall because it's stretching and reaching for the light. If you were to go and plant your leggy seedlings outside, it just isn't a strong enough transplant to withhold wind and other outdoor elements. You want your seedlings and your transplants to be as strong as possible, and indoor lights is one of those things that will help make that happen. Now, you can't just use any light bulb for your indoor lights. It has to be a special kind of light and a special kind of bulb in order to make sure that your seedlings are getting the right amount of light that it needs. Specifically, there are two factors in a light bulb that you need to look at when it comes to choosing the right light for your seedlings. One being lumens and one being kelvins. The other factor that you'll see on a light bulb is watts, but wattage is not necessarily something that you need to consider when choosing your indoor lighting. Lumens is a measure of brightness of the light. The higher the number of lumens, the brighter the light, and the lower the number of lumens, the dimmer the light. Seedlings specifically need to be met with a bright, intense amount of light as soon as they germinate to really ensure that they start off growing strong and healthy and with stocky, short stems. Ideally, you want a bulb that has anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 lumens to grow healthy seedlings and transplants. Kelvin is the type of light produced by the bulb, or the color temperature of the bulb. Grow lights should mimic daylight as much as possible. So the amount of Kelvin you want for your light bulb is anywhere between 4,500 and 6,500, and the higher the number, the better. Lumens and Kelvin are the two things that you want to check for on the package of your light bulbs when choosing your grow lights for your indoor seedlings. Now, wattage is the other type of number that you'll find on the package of a light bulb, which isn't as important when it comes to growing your seedlings. Wattage is simply the amount of electricity that is being used. Now, as you can see here, I have 3 different grow light setups being used for my transplants and my seedlings. Here on my grow light shelf, I have LED tube lights. On my lower shelf, I have 4 lights per shelf, and on my 2 upper shelves, I have 3 lights per shelf. This is plenty enough light for my seedlings and my transplants. On my top shelf, you can even see I'm growing fully mature herbs, and on the second shelf down here, I'm even growing lettuce. Tube lights are super inexpensive and a great setup if you're looking to grow lots and lots of transplants. The second type of light that you can use is a clamp light, like this one here. It's simply a clamp light that you can find from any hardware store, and it has a single bulb underneath to place right over your transplants or your seedlings. Again, it's the lumens and the kelvins of the bulb that you want to look for when purchasing your indoor lights. It has a clamp, so it can clamp onto anything like a shelf, or in my case, the edge of my seedling shelf here. And the third type of grow light setup that I'm using is a grow light box. This is a clamp light that I've attached to the top of a bin lid. I've punctured a hole in the top of the lid to put the clamp light down through. I've plugged it into my outlet down below, and it again has just a single bulb underneath. And this just provides a nice warm home for my seedlings to grow and is a really great space saver if you don't have a lot of space to grow your seedlings indoors. When purchasing your indoor lights, LEDs are definitely the way to go because they're just a little bit more cost effective and they last a little bit longer as well. It's definitely important to just use what you have in terms of space in your home, whether you have enough space for a shelf setup like this, or you only have enough space to set up 1 or 2 clamp lights or use a box like this. Use the space that you have to grow the seedlings that you can indoors. It's definitely a money saver to be able to grow and start your own seedlings and transplants. The other thing I recommend when it comes to using your own grow lights indoors is a timer. The timer is super important because you don't have to worry about when to turn on and off the lights. You set it to turn on and off on its own, and then it just runs by itself. Ideally, you want your lights to be on for about 18 hours a day and off for about 6 hours a day. I find that that's the perfect amount of time to grow your seedlings and your transplants. And the last thing I want to mention when it comes to growing your indoor seedlings and transplants is how far away from the light your plants should be. When you're growing your seedlings and your transplants like this, you don't want them to be any further than 2 to 4 inches away from the light when they're germinating and growing, because that's what's going to help them stay nice and sturdy and stocky and strong. The larger they get, the further away from the light that they can be. You can find all of my setups that I have here on Amazon. I get a lot of my seedling starting stuff from Amazon. It's a great place and it's cost effective as well. I'll have links in the description of this video of some of my favorite products so that you can find things quickly and cost effectively. Definitely just use what you can based on your budget and the space you have in your home. Gardening is all about having fun and learning as you go. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe so that you can come back to it later, and share it with a friend so that they can learn too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye friends!